So here is the haunted matchbox. It's got panelling on all sides, and we slide open the sleeve to reveal this haunted house, and then we can start to open the accordion folded journal to reveal the horrors that lie in wait for us. We've got this beautiful ghost doll and a skull there in a little pocket. We've got this tuck spot here that's a cauldron with this skeleton praying for his mortal soul. We've got some nice bits of panelling and words here, some ephemera stuck down. We've got a little tag in this full-sized pocket, and we can turn that over to reveal some more horrific gorgeousness. And then we've got this little raven in his own little pocket here, and a tuck spot that is this skull that's got these little tiny bats and a death's head hawk moth behind. And then we can fold all of this up and turn it over, and we've got some gorgeous little bits of matting and ephemera on this side, another pocket with some little tiny tags inside, and we've got another pocket here with another tag in there, and then we open it out and the moon is our final spread. And it feels beautiful, it feels really weighty with all this panelling, a really nice substantial little thing. So come with me and let's see how it's put together. A brief overview of the kit before we begin. I've already cut out all my little fussy cut images that come on one page, some great things to play with there, and I've reverse printed that sheet with the backing sheet. This sheet I've printed onto 250 gram, which is £92 cover stock. I've reverse printed this sheet, and that's got our Matchbox sleeve, the Matchbox drawer, and some matting panels. You can go ahead and cut out this whole shape, cut out all of the solid black lines and score all of the dotted lines. So that's that sheet. This sheet I've printed out onto 160 gram. You could go a bit lighter than if you wanted, you could go to 120. Mine is 160, £59 cover stock. I've reverse printed this sheet, and this sheet contains the panels that will make our accordion folded booklet and some more matting panels for these pages. So that's that one. And this last one is also on 160 gram. You could go lighter, and that contains matting panels, a couple of little pockets and some words. And that one I haven't reverse printed. So I can go ahead and cut all of those out and come back and we can put it together. So here is the box cut out, and I've also creased it, and I've made my folds. So when you've creased yours along all the dotted lines, just go ahead and fold everything up into the middle. And then when you've done that and you're ready to glue, the fastest and most efficient way I find to glue my little boxes together is to fold these four flaps inwards and then apply glue to all of these double sections here. Don't get any glue on the bottom of your Matchbox. And you can apply glue to all of these sections and then let that glue go tacky. If you want to, you can fold them up a section at a time, sandwiching the tabs in as you go. But I find this works really, really well for me. So I'm going to let that go tacky. This one, I'm going to fold over this end tab, apply glue to that section there, bring up my pieces, line everything up so it's nice and square, and then just press and allow that to grab, and that is the sleeve. And whilst I'm waiting for these pieces to dry, I'm going to ink up the edges of my matting pieces for the Matchbox. So here is my Matchbox drawer, and the glue should have gone a little tacky by now. So I'm going to bring up this short section to 90 degrees, sit those little tabs flush on the floor, the same on this side here, bring this back section up to meet the tabs, and then fold this section down over the top. And the important thing to note here is that your edges are lining up nicely on those two sides, and because I let my glue go a little sticky, it's going to stick a lot more easily for me and not pop open. And the same on the other side. making sure that our edges are all nicely snug and at 90 degrees. And then I can bring these two sections down, and they will help stick the longer sections down in the corners. So all you've really got to concern yourself with then is just making sure that these middle sections on all four sides grab nicely, and you can go ahead and ink in that box. There we are, some nice heavy inking later, and I've got my drawer. I'm going to pop my drawer into the sleeve. Now I just need to check where the actual seal is, because I want that to be on the bottom as out of the way as possible, and that will slide in there just beautifully. So now I can go ahead and glue on my panels. I only need 2, but I've got 3 to choose from, and I can use one of them in the bottom of the box. So there we are. I forgot to ink my side panels. That's the Matchbox complete on the outside. And I can have this either way round, obviously. Now let's construct the accordion fold. There are a total of 10 folds here. You can use less if you want to. This end section here, you can trim down just slightly, and there's a couple of directions you can take this really. I've creased mine, so I'm going to begin to fold them backwards and forwards, and of course I've reverse printed my page as well. And don't be a slave to your crease marks. If something's slightly off, alter it, because you need everything to be nice and square. There we are, and before I go any further, I'm going to ink all my edges and all my folds on both sides. So there we are. I've zigzag folded all of these pieces and I've inked them in, and as I was inking I've reversed these folds so that I can get ink in onto all of these lines. It gives it a really, really lovely effect. And now there are 2 ways that we can go about sticking our accordion into our Matchbox. We can either pop this little tab in and pop a piece of matting on the top, the spare piece of matting that was left over from making the box, and go about it like that. Or we can stick 2 pieces like this, and then when they're stuck together we can stick an actual panel in the base of the box. I'm going to do it the first way. So I'm going to glue the reverse of this panel, pop it into my Matchbox. You could of course do all this after you've assembled all your pages. I want to do mine first, and then glue down the matting panel on the top. Making sure that things are the right way around and you haven't got these pieces upside down or your matting panel upside down. So that's glued into the back there nicely, and then our little journal will start to take shape like this. And if you feel that you've got too many pages, you can always chop 1 or 2 off, and you could use those even separately as a little booklet. Would work quite well. So I'm just going to have a look at how I'm going to treat this now, and I think I'm going to glue this together on 3 sides, and then I can make a little secret pocket in that edge. So I will circle cut this first, so I've given myself a little notch. Now I've pre-printed a couple of pages here, but the reverse, if you turn that over, that's where we just reverse printed that sheet, and this is the page that we want to really focus on putting our matting panels and maybe our little pockets. So there's a lot to stick on here, so have a play about. Make sure everything's the right way up. Have a play about, see where you'd like to stick them. You can make some secret little pockets, you can cut some down to make little pockets if you want to. Just have a play about and see what you want to do. You don't have to use all of these panels. So I'm just going to have a fiddle about with these now and I'm going to stick some down. So I stuck down some of my matting fairly randomly in the end. I didn't overthink it. I just popped some down and left some gaps, and on the other side it's looking like this. And what this has done, it's given it some nice weight. It feels really lovely to hold. And I've got a couple of little pockets here. I've stuck one on 3 sides, and I'll turn this over and I'll stick one on here. Just line that up centrally. Now in the ephemera sheets, we've got these 2 pieces, and even though this isn't specifically intended for Halloween, this kit, I thought I might include at least one of those as a pocket. I might stick them both on because they fit just nicely, and they'll help me house some of these ephemera pieces. Right, so my pieces are folding backwards and forwards very nicely. I've still got room, I've still got about half the room, so that's great news because I've got lots of ephemera to play about with now. And I've got this beautiful, spooky ghost doll, and I definitely want her to go, I think, on the front. So we're just having a play about now with all of these pieces. That moon is very nice as well. These look great, heavily inked. I've also got this piece that I could use as a little tuck spot. Take that off for now, and let's go with my initial. Oh, I've got this. That's beautiful on the front, that haunted house. Seeing as it's a haunted Matchbox, I think I'll go with that one. Oh, I know what I've done. I've stuck this piece on upside down. That spider should be at the top, and then that text would be the right way round. But really doesn't matter. Makes no difference at all. Nobody's going to question you on that. And my little spooky doll maybe want to go in a pocket. I've got a pocket on this side here, and I think I'll pop her in there if she will fit. She will. Brilliant. And then I've got all of these lovely, lovely pieces that I can just have a play about with and pop where I like. Whoops. And I mustn't forget that I've also got a rather lovely sheet of words here. So there we go. A few words inked up. And I'm going to pop this cauldron here, and I'm just going to glue the bottom section of this cauldron. It can act as a little tuck spot for me. And I can pop something behind it. He would work quite well if he fits. Now I've got my little pocket here. I can pop a little tag in. I've got a circular tag, that's quite nice. I could maybe pop those couple of pieces of ephemera in there. Or I could cut down one of these matting panels that I've got left over. That would also work. And I've got this little fella. He's quite a nice sturdy tag as well. Maybe I'll pop all of those in my little pocket, but they need to be flush with the folds when it's all folded. So maybe I'll just go with that one because that one is quite sturdy and sits in quite nicely. I may have to trim him down just a little. Let's try popping him in the other way. There we go, that will work. Now then, I've got lots of bits and bobs to play with. What a lot of fun here. I like him very much. I might just stick him here with a word. There we are. Let's pop this little piece here. It's nice to keep things on different angles, and I think I'll pop one of my bats on an angle over here. I can't see the mysterious. There we go, that one. And maybe I'll just pop a little bit of glue in the middle of him and leave his wings fairly free. And I want to make sure that I don't come sticking out over the edge here, so that I might have problems folding later. So I think that's going to work fine. I've got this section here. I think I might cut down this panel to make myself a little pocket. I've still got quite a few panels left over. I've given you lots of options to play with. Don't feel you need to use them all, but it is nice to have a lot to play with. Oh, I've got my raven. I wonder if my raven will fit in here. No, because of his log. I could cut that off, couldn't I? Just round that off, ink it up, and then he'll go in that little pocket. Let's have a look how I'm doing on the other side. Brilliant, brilliant. I've got some little tags here I could write or stick on the backs of those. My little church window. Let's get my little witch stuck down here, I think. She's nice. I don't want her to go into a pocket and be a tag as such, because she's got quite a lot of detail. She won't stand up to the wear and tear. She looks great. Oh, I love this. This is actually much nicer than I thought it was going to be. And I knew it was going to be nice. I've got my moon that I want to do something with. I think I'm going to have to stick that here with a word. Yeah, let's do that. And I've still got some pieces left over. I've got lots and lots of words, and I've got some panels. What you have over will be different to mine, obviously, but it's lovely to have some extra for my stash, so you're welcome. And here is our matchbox, our haunted matchbox, complete. Let's open it up. This is nice and sturdy now, even though I was a little concerned. I'd done it on the 250 gram, the £92 cover stock, as opposed to the 300 gram, the £110 cover stock. It's actually really nice and sturdy now that it's got its contents in. So when we open up our haunted matchbox and we begin to open up these sections, we have all sorts of interesting bits and pieces going on, and that is it. Fully opened on one side and fully opened on the other side. We've got writing spaces, we've got little journaling spots. We can do what we want with these pages now, and we've got pockets and we've got little tuck spots. Let's turn it over. This doll absolutely thrills me as a tag. I think she's absolutely incredibly beautiful. And there's the skull behind her. I've got a little tuck spot here of the cauldron with the skeleton behind it. This page here with a simple word. I've got a little pocket here with my really creepy pumpkin in it. I've got these lovely pages. I've got my crow in a little pocket, and I've got my tuck spot skull here that's got some tiny little bits of ephemera tucked behind it, the two bats and the death's head hawk moth. It's wonderful. I'm really, really happy with it. I love it. I hope you enjoy putting that together and maybe gifting it or keeping it as a special little spooky keepsake.